You have another job now that's very important as chairman of the Claims Committee of the Gulf Oil Spill Economic Recovery Task Force. The BP well, thankfully, has been capped permanently. We certainly hope so. But there's still a lot of residents of the Florida Panhandle hurting. They're victims and they want some money to help them through this very difficult time. You chair the committee overseeing the claims process. Tell us where things are.
Well, you're right. If you look at the impact, the Panhandle has about a 3-month season. So you had a substantial drop during that 3 months, about 60% in terms of tourism. You also had the impact on the commercial fishing industry. And so the BP worked with the current administration in Washington, set up a $20 billion fund for the purpose of compensating people for their losses. That process is going on right now. Currently, it's been transferred from BP, who were the administrators deciding compensation, to Ken Feinberg, who was the individual who handled the compensation after 9/11.
Well, how's that going? Are you pleased with the transfer, or are we in the beginning processes?
Well, I think we're in the beginning processes, but Feinberg, I think, probably overpromised and is under-delivering. He promised a smooth transition. That clearly has not happened. While individuals were filing their claims with BP, they're now having to refile with Feinberg, even though a lot of that filings were electronic information. I think that's problematic. But more importantly than that, it appears that Feinberg has established a stronger standard of proof than the Federal Oil Pollution Act. Federal Oil Pollution Act basically says that you can recover damages as a result of the spill. And what the new Feinberg protocol calls for is there has to be proximate cause. In other words, BP had to be able to reasonably foresee that you had those damages. I'll give you an example. You have an oyster bar here in Tallahassee. You can't get oysters because the oystermen aren't harvesting oysters because they're out at $1,800 a day in the Vessels of Opportunity program. Do I do $200 a day and harvest oysters, or do I participate in BP's project? Was that reasonably foreseeable by BP? That you can argue in front of a jury, but under the Oil Pollution Act, the strict liability. If your damages were a result of the spill, then you recover.